How are you? A lot of things have happened since we last talked, and I've had some thoughts while I was away. I've been traveling a lot the past months, seeing the world, trying to find that one thing I couldn't seem to find before. I think I've always felt like a tourist, just passing by. Aren't we all just passing by? But I want to know how it feels. A mere observer, seeing that the world is so big. I'm never in one place, but I'd like to be. Not knowing who my people are yet, but I know that they're out there. We've talked about this before that one time. Ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to get that sense of belonging, knowing what to expect, who to run to, and what to do tomorrow. Stable and easy, and something to stop me from crying all the time. But I've accepted that I'm a tourist. I don't want to be boxed. Even if I don't become an expert at that one thing, I'd like to know bits of it. My relationship with my brother has gotten a bit better as we grew up, but it was always crooked when we were younger. We got to visit this place called House Down Under, and everything was upside down. Kind of like how I felt being in a different country with my brother. Spending time together is good, and I'm really thankful I got to be here with him, but it still just feels a bit weird. When I was younger, I would sleep beside my grandmother a lot. And one time when I was around 5 or 6, I suddenly woke up while she was sleeping. And for some reason, I realized that I was scared of dying. Like the idea of not existing. I was scared that the world would end and I'd forget. And no one really talks about that, but I was scared that everything that I knew would suddenly disappear and I wouldn't remember my grandmother anymore. I didn't want to be alone when I was younger, but I always was. And I looked forward to my grandmother getting home every day. And then I grew up. She was always kind to everyone, and everyone loved her. And I guess that's why I'm documenting things. People always ask, why do you create? For me, it's to express, to let it out. I was always looking for ways to express how I felt. I tried songwriting, painting, photography, and all this. I guess I was a tourist in that sense. If you're lucky enough, you get to meet people like Angus. And if you're even more lucky, he picks up the phone and agrees to tour you around the city. And that's exactly what he did.
I wish you were a coach of the football team. Yeah, like really cut your teeth. Chase your dream, find out what it means to be an actual human being. Crack a smile, come on, stay a while. I could be the one to teach ya, but I wanna say fuck it all, and then I wanna have a call. Why are you looking for a needle in a haystack when there's horses? I wanna say fuck it all. I'm having
I've been talking to Angus online for a while, and this is the first time we ever met. He's no different in person, and he's so easy to talk to about anything. I also met Jocelyn, whose creations are just about to be seen by the world, and I can't wait for everyone to see everything that she wants to express. Somehow, they also found a friend in each other. Everyone's just looking for people who make them feel like they belong, people they can run to and talk about anything. And I guess being in their company reminded me a lot of the friends that I also met this year. I went from being a tourist to finding friends that make you feel like you've known them for so long. We talked about our creative beliefs, and I wasn't that surprised that we had a lot of things in common, like creating for expression, not really wanting to be boxed. And consistency is different from experimenting, and we're really only here for a little while, so might as well create something that will last many years.
such a vivid memory of turning on the TV, showing you my new favorite thing. You
A day before my birthday, my family and I went to the University of Sydney. It looked a lot like Hogwarts, and the shoes we saw earlier on the way here reminded me a lot of Luna Lovegood. She always seems so crazy to people, but she was just being herself, in spite of how unaccepting people are to people who are different. Every single corner in this place was beautiful. I'm not sure if I'm just romanticizing it, but I was daydreaming the thought that maybe in another life we lived in the places that we're drawn to. Whenever I go to a different city, I always get the feeling that there are places you haven't been where you always belonged. And most of the time, it's because of the people that you meet. On my birthday, my family and I went to the Blue Mountains. Being a Filipino, my skin wasn't used to the cold up here, but I enjoyed every second of it. It was a perfect way to spend turning a year older. I was a tourist in Sydney, taking in every single thing I saw and learning from every person I met and passed by. I wrote a poem about my experience in Sydney, and here it goes. I guess we just never knew, but maybe I already passed by you. For only a brief time, I stepped in places you've walked. Possibly, maybe you've walked by the same building I saw. Maybe you've taken the same photo, and as if we're connected by an invisible string, I can't help but wonder how it's like to live in the places I've been. We're so different, but I can't help but wonder how it's like, or if you felt the same, living in the places I've been.